No, dolphins are good for sharks. Excited?
Yeah, it's so hot. It's like 40 degrees outside, not a gust of wind. At least I'm feeling better than yesterday, because yesterday I was pretty sick. But I think I'm getting used to the heat now. So we're gonna go explore, hopefully stay in the shade a little bit.
To the dock! So we just parked our little boat at the Dungeness dock, which apparently you cannot buy tickets over there. So now we've got to walk all the way to the other dock, which hopefully it seems like we get our tickets over there. We'll see. With over 50 miles of trails and another 18 miles of beach, needless to say, the hiker in me was really excited. So we headed north on the river trail, which connects the Dungeness dock to the Sea Camp dock, only 0.8 miles away. I was immediately transported into another world. The singing cicadas, tall canopy, lush forests with drooping moss drew me in. This is just incredible, like I feel like in the tropics and wow! On you, I think, which is pretty awesome.
COVID made it so you could still access Cumberland Island during the summer of 2020, but some facilities were still closed. Fortunately though, there were still water refill stations, which made it easy to stay hydrated.
Welcome to Cumberland Island. We just parked at the Ice House Museum dock, but someone told us we could get a ticket at the Sea Camp Ranger station, so we walked there, but nobody's there. They're all gone for lunch, so I guess we're gonna keep on hiking and come back there in like an hour or so, and maybe we're gonna get our ticket. It's only a short 0.6 miles from the Sea Camp Ranger Station to the Sea Camp Beach, and it's all very well marked. The trail led us through the maritime forest, which is so unique. To the beach we go! It felt as if I was in an Enchanted movie, with twisted trees and branches of wild oak trees. They get their odd shapes because the canopy is exposed to salt air, which then slows the growth of the branches, which in turn grows outwards instead of upwards. Salt pruning, it's called. These forests create a protective barrier for salt marshes. And because of the natural twists and turns of the oak trees, different group of people who used to live on the island used to harvest its timber to build ships.
Ah, it's beautiful. It's It's nice and cool with the cloud cover now, and we get a bit of breeze here on the ocean side, so it's a lot nicer. So nice. Nice and cool. The Atlantic. It's much colder than the water on the ICW.
It's like quite shallow, so you gotta walk really far.
So refreshing though, right?
I know. Oh, this is beautiful. It's like July 14th, I think, today. Oh, oui. I'm quite impressed. We were a little worried of going to Cumberland Island because it's been so hot, but between walking in the forest, you get a nice shade, and then jumping in the water, perfect. And we seem to always find horseshoe crabs. I don't know where he's going though. The beach is over there. Oh, he's camera shy.
You chicken.
Come on, little guy.
Wherever we walked on the island, from the maritime forest to even by the sand dunes, it seemed to sound like the cicadas were surrounding us. And for that small of an insect, it sure is loud.
Why not?
That doesn't work.
This one works.
Refreshed from our swim in the Atlantic, we decided to keep exploring Cumberland Island and veered off onto a parallel trail. There's a few mosquitoes in this trail, so don't stop for too long because you kind of get eaten alive, so keep walking.
What did you find?
I found a little bird's nest. I don't really know what kind of bird, but it's cute. Well, we're walking back through the main road because we're getting eaten alive, and the trail is actually a little bit encroaching and there's big spiders.
And it's not the most entertaining. The other trails were a lot nicer.
Oh yeah, the other section is like super happy that we stopped on Cumberland Island.
Round two.
Yeah, round two. Hopefully we get our tickets, otherwise I give up. Then you have your little envelopes and you can pay $10 per adult and it's good for a full week.
Where are we heading now?
We are heading back towards the dock. I don't know, should we keep walking or go back to the boat? That section we're gonna walk it tomorrow, so maybe go home, more swimming, cold beer.
Yeah, it sounds like a plan.
There are over 100 wild horses, or feral horses, in Cumberland. They were brought to the island and were once domesticated to work on the plantations. But by the time the park was established in 1972, the horses had reverted to a wild state. It's really easy to forget that they are wild, but they are big and powerful animals. So make sure you don't try to pet them and keep your distance. Woohoo!
did we learn here?
Don't buy big watermelons unless you're gonna eat it right away. I mean, I only bought this, what was it, Saturday, we are Monday. So that was like 3 days ago. And it's like jello inside.
Yay, we got some good stuff.
Yeah, we're able to save some. It's such a big one that there's only like parts of it that got super squishy and little.
That's crazy. Definitely not a hot fine melon unless you have a fridge.
Yeah.
For the entire thing.
I don't think we would actually get it in. It's way too big.
Even though we rebuilt our diesel engine, and it runs great now, we still enjoy pulling up anchor under sail.
Ready to let out a bit?
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, it's nice to be sailing again. Get our sails back out, dry them out a little bit, and then get some of the rust kicked off. But I don't know how much longer that head sail is going to last for. We had it for a whole season in Bahamas, and it is a used sail, and it seems really bagged out. Like the top of it just flaps around no matter how we trim it. And I can't get the track far enough forward. It's max forward, pulling down on the back of the sail. We just can't get it tight enough to actually stop it from whipping around when we're going upwind. When we're going on the beam or downwind, it flutters a little bit, but it's not as bad. We've tried pulling on the string inside, and it doesn't do it. So I think next year we're gonna have to use our other sail, and maybe keep an eye out for another sail in the future, maybe. How's it going, sailor girl, Alex?
This is nice. We're doing much better speed. The wind is back. We're doing 4.5 knots. Not the fastest, but we only have the Genoa also. Because when we left, it was really, really windy. So we're like, yeah, let's just hoist the Genoa. Don't bother with the mainsail. And then the wind died. And now it's back on. So we're heading to Fernandina Beach because tomorrow morning we're picking my sisters Julie and Chantal up. And we're gonna come all the way back here and go check out the Dungeness ruins and everything with them. It's gonna be exciting.
It's only 7 nautical miles, but unless you time the slack tide, you'll be fighting the current at one point.
Well, this isn't good. We're with the current right now, apparently. It was supposed to be pretty much slack, but I guess we still have a little bit of current. But we're almost on there's the inlet.
St. Mary's River.
And once we get to the other side, the current is going to be against us.
And we're doing 3 knots. Ooh, not less.
Less than 3 knots. 2 knots?
2.9.
So we might be going a knot.
Well, I guess we got almost pushed out the St. Mary's River inlet, so we had to turn on the engine. There's like no wind, we're doing circles.
The only way to get to Cumberland Island is by passenger ferry or private boat. So we met up with Alex's sister, Julie and Chantal, in Fernandina Beach and sailed together over to Georgia.
I was really excited to share with them our lifestyle. I always find it tricky to explain our lives to others, from commuting to shore by dinghy, pulling anchor, hoisting sails, or motoring. It's hard to describe with words. But now they were getting a sneak peek into our daily lives.
Oh, it's awesome!
Come on, eyes over there.
I think that's another one, because the other one was coming
Come on, little dolphins.
Yeah, don't get eaten by sharks. But they say where
No,
they
dolphins are good for sharks.
I know, that's what they say. Where the dolphins are, the sharks are not. The sharks are one.
Oh, wow.
Right there.
This is so cool!
Wow.
Go get him. Grab his dorsal fin. Ride him.
Making sandwiches for lunch on Cumberland Island. Having fun, sisters?
Yeah, I can see you right now. Oh yeah, we took your dinghy as a long chair. So we're just kind of kicking it. Turning. It's kind of nice.
I know.
With 17 miles of island to explore, it's hard to see everything by foot. We spent all our time in the southern portion of the island.
We're refilling the water over there because it's really hot.
No biting though, okay?
Yeah, you can't stop for very long in the shade because the mosquitoes get you. But you can't stay in the sun very long because you start getting really bothered by the heat. But it's really cool. It's a cool spot. Lots of wild horses on the island too. Apparently they don't really do anything to like take care of them or to bother them. So I guess they're pretty much completely wild. Such amazing tree formations here. It's just so crazy. The windy, viney type forest. Beautiful.
We headed about 1.2 miles south of the Sea Camp Ranger Station. The Dungeness ruins are from a mansion which was built in 1884 for Thomas Cargeny, his wife, and 9 children. It grew in sizes with several additions up until it caught on fire in 1959. So now only the brick walls remain. What do you think about this area?
It's pretty crazy. It's quite the estate.
So we're here at Dungeness Ruins and it's so spacious with wild horses all over the place. And there's like tons of different ruins. You can't really go inside. I think it's just not that solid, so they're afraid of people getting hurt. But it's just really neat walking all around it and trying to envision what it might have been before. Because it's massive. It's like, wow. Imagine living here on that beautiful island. I know. Well, after the wild horses, the wild turkeys. We almost could have supper, there's so many of them.
It was later in the day, so we looped back to the dock to set sail. And unlike this morning, we actually had enough wind to put up the sails. We could finally show what it felt like to be pushed by the wind. Peaceful and free. That's why we chose a sailboat.
So nice.
It's nice to be sailing again. We got full sails up. Got rid of some of the nests from those mud wasps, whatever they're called. They make little nests out of mud and they eat spiders. Yeah, it's kind of bittersweet. This is some of the last sailing we're gonna do before we have to pack in the boat for hurricane season. I do feel fairly lucky because we were able to extend it by quite a bit just by, you know, being near where we're going to pull out the boat and having the pull out as our like backup. I like cruising and I don't want to stop, but we have to go back, and this whole COVID situation has kind of made things interesting going back and forth between Canada and the US. And I mean, well, we have to put our boat somewhere safe anyway for hurricane season. We can't keep cruising. I mean, there are people that are cruising down to the Bahamas at this time of year, but I feel like it's, I mean, considering this is our home and we don't have anything else to go back to, it's not really the best decision to just risk the boat potentially being completely destroyed with a really active hurricane season this year that we're having. Luckily we haven't had any big storms hit us, but
This swim over.
oh, it's good. I'm so out of shape though. I need to swim more or do something to keep myself in shape, because that was tiring and it's not that far away.
There's a lot of current also.
Yeah, but I wasn't really having to fight the current. I was like side onto the current. But anyway, yeah, I need to work on my swimming ability.
So we just dropped the hook off the south side of Cumberland Island, doing a little bit of swimming, cooling off, exploring this private beach to ourselves. And we're gonna go back to the boat, have some supper, and then say bye to my sisters. Are we going somewhere? On the St. Mary's River?
Somewhere.
Cumberland Island still has lots to offer, so we are back exploring the next morning.
This is called Tabby, which in Georgia there wasn't much clay, so they built all of the walls with some sort of sand and oysters.
So many crabs. They're running everywhere. The ground is moving.
We walked past the Dungeness ruins and decided to follow the Dungeness Trail, which is 1.5 miles over to the Dungeness beach. It crosses roads where the sound of cicadas was deafening in the maritime forest. It then led us to a boardwalk in the salt marsh, which eventually reached sand dunes where you can find the boneyard trees, dead oak trees.
Some cicadas emerge from the mud every year. Meanwhile, others do so only every 13 to 17 years. They can only emerge if the weather is warm enough for mating. By how loud they were this year, for such small insects, I think the summer was warm enough for them.
Today is really hot, so it's our third day on Cumberland Island and we've been exploring some more. But it's kind of funny, you really gotta walk, try to find some shade and find a beach to go swimming to cool down. Hey, you jump?
Jump! I'm already in.
On our way back to the boat. through these really impressive sand dunes. It's like everywhere on the southern portion of the island.